What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm over here at the shop, B&K Performance. We're still working on this race car, making progress. The first no prep race is actually this weekend. It's at Fayetteville. It's kind of a last-minute deal, dig or die. They're doing it from the top of Fayetteville, and we are going to miss that one. My goal with this car is to make the race in Darlington, and that's coming up the end of February. So we don't have many days left. So we got a lot to do. Let me show you what we got going on today. Go to turbojohnracing.com. Grab yourself some merchandise. We got those new t-shirts in, the breakout t-shirts. Those things are pretty cool. Comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, so we are making progress. We're making good progress, but there's still a lot to do. The car still is pretty long ways away. But so last video, I think we got all this stuff done. There's a couple things you didn't see in the last video. We did go ahead and mock up the downpipe. So the downpipe is pretty close there. The only problem with the downpipe where it's at is, if you look here, this is not going to work. Now, this is the downpipe that I had when we had the going up through the hood. Downpipe was going through the hood, but now of course it's not. So with it not turning, that's not going to work. So the option is don't turn, which is not really an option, or move the downpipe. So there's a couple ways we could do it. We could cut it here and do like a little S turn up this way and go that way, or we can take this little spacer out and take this out here. That's a couple inches. That'll move the downpipe up this way. And then that will also give us a little more clearance because we are really close to that trigger wheel. That's a 36-1 wheel, and you want to give as much distance as you can. Sensors with the heat, and also mechanical. If this comes loose or something fails, put some type of attachment point over here off of the frame just to make sure this stays up. But I think we're going to move that. Now, we have had problems in the past where if this bend is way too close to this outlet. Think about the way the exhaust exits the turbine. So it comes up through here and it swirls around, right? And it gets on the turbine wheel and it's a swirl. So it's coming out. There's some papers out there, and you can do some research on it. And there's actually some merit to this just being a straight piece of pipe. And there's even some merit to it actually even expanding. There are some people that have had some results in, going from a 5-inch pipe here to a 6-inch bellow and then shrinking back down. Given the exhaust time to get out of that spiral to get into a more of a straight flow. But I say all that to say we had in the past, if you get this bend too close to this turbine wheel, I had one time where I had no room. And so essentially I come in about right here and it made this thing oblong. It was short enough to where the pipe wasn't far enough away, but the thing would not spool up, and it would not spool. It run fine going down track. It run fine, once you got into boost, but getting into boost, it would not go. And so finally, we took the downpipe off of it, and it spooled up instantly. And then that showed us the importance of this downpipe. A lot of people just shrink this pipe down, and they put all the types of bends in it, and they make it, to where it curves a lot. They don't realize that any type of pressure that you have here, or exhaust turbulence or restriction, it really affects the rest of the system. So that's something you want to be careful of. But I think what I am going to do, this is a nice bend here. So I am going to cut it probably here. Modify this downpipe to get it to come out in front of the front tire. So we'll be down here kind of like Randy's car. Fuel filter mounted up. Now I did just get a piece of little rubber hose here, so that's flexible. I also ordered a piece of another 90 here. And so it'll come off of here and then loop down to where we'll have here. So this will be nice and flexible. I might create some type of a mounting point here, figure out how I can, do something off of here just to mount this so it's a little rigid. And then I think we'll be good. We re-engineered our drain here. So we got that thing cut off, and this is just a piece of number 12 that we were able to get off of our overflow bottle that we had on the other car over here. So we're making good progress. So the goal today, I just went on Amazon. I ordered this thing honestly, it's been 4 days ago. Amazon screwed it up. They don't screw up a ton, but they screwed it up pretty bad this time. Little cast aluminum elbow, tight radius. So this is going to go here. And then this is how we're going to do our pipe so we can get the front end on. So with this pointing down and then this coming up over here and going up into the elbow. So the goal today is to get the cold side pipe mostly done. I've got a whole bunch of scrap stuff over here. This is from the other car, and I've got one piece of new pipe, a bunch of old pipe. I think we got enough to make it happen and make it look a little bit better and get the cold side done and get the hot side done. That's the goal today. Let's see if we can make it happen. All right, guys, so we made a little bit of progress, and so we got this thing welded all up. Some of these welds turned out okay, and we were struggling. We were trying to get this thing so that it was one piece, basically, so that all I was going to have was a V-band up here and then this clamp down here. I'm not a cold side builder or a hot side builder. There's got to be a method to the madness on how they're able to get them so that everything is nice and straight and no wide gaps. I don't know how to do that. So luckily, Brian, he bought some of these Wiggins style clamps, and he got them off of Amazon. They were pretty cheap. And so luckily he's only used one so far, so he had a spare one. And so we decided to put that here. And so that's going to make it a lot easier to actually get this pipe on. And so basically there's an O-ring that goes in this side, an O-ring that goes on this side. Then this round band clamp basically just goes around it. You have to lubricate the O-rings pretty good to get them to slide together. But then you have a little bit of flexibility. And this clamps around this band clamp, of course. But what it does is it gives you the ability to where this thing will move, and these do not have to be perfectly straight. But it makes it, the way it clamps around it, you can see that this has a nice ledge, and that ledge gets caught on the back side of this. So it gives you movement, but it doesn't actually allow it to come apart and blow apart. And these clamps, there's a couple different companies that make them. They used to be $150 a piece, and then, you can find them a lot cheaper than that now. And then you can find some like middle of the road. We had one blow apart on Randy's back in the day. It had vibrant, I think it was actually cut out of the aluminum, and the actual clamp broke because the aluminum was missing. So now they just stamp it on. They're all essentially the same. It's got this little nice quick disconnect. It might be a good idea to buy a couple extra of those, because potentially that could get lost, but it looks like it could be if you lost it, just a 1/4-inch bolt, you could just stick through it. Getting late, I'm getting tired, I gotta go to work tomorrow, and the wife is saying that she feels single again. So I don't know that that's a good thing. So we got to hurry up and get this thing done. I didn't get a mess with the hot side at all. Making progress. I still think this is a win tonight. Hopefully in the next couple days, we'll get all this stuff solidified, and then we can start wiring in the car. As we are back, day number, I haven't been counting. It's like
116.
It feels like a year, but it's more like 2 weeks. This has become my second home. My wife is getting ready for me to be done with this car so I can spend a little bit more family time during the week. But I've been over here like every night almost. I had a little bit of a sickness, so I missed a couple days. But we are back, and so now we're going to try to knock this thing out. Let me show you what we got going on. So the goal tonight is the goal was last night, was to finish the cold side, do the hot side, and I'm just confused. I don't really know what the goal is tonight. We're just pecking away at it. Check it out, guys. Go to turbojohnracing.com, grab some merchandise. Thanks. What's the goal, Brantley?
Get this whole entire motor done.
In what amount of time?
Today.
Have you lost your mind?
Yes.
I agree.
13 more days.
We have 13 days from the time I am recording this. Now, I don't know when y'all are going to actually get this video because I'm so far behind in doing videos. But we're 13 days away from, I've got to be at the racetrack with this thing to shake it down. Galot Motorsports Park is the plan. Thursday night, they're opening night. It's going to hopefully be making some passes. So last time we got all this stuff done, we did end up getting all that stuff done on the bottom end, so that was fine. I did get my fitting for the fuel filter, so we're going to go ahead and put that on in a second. But we've started working. I didn't even start recording. Let me show you what we've done so far. We did end up putting this V-band on. It was able to go up in there. We just cut it off of the other pipe. And so that welded on pretty smooth and easy. Just got through welding these blow-off valve flanges on. Welding didn't turn out too bad on that. Those are, I think that's the third pipe those have been on. So my flanges are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So the easiest way to put these on, what we have found, now there again, we are not professionals and I suck at all of this, but you weld it on and then you take a hole saw and then you go in there and drill a hole and then you cut it out and then you deburr it and then you're good. So this thing is like blazing hot, so I really can't touch it to go put it on. But Brantley, you're gonna burn yourself. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna work on this. This will be finished here in just a few minutes. And so once we get that done, we're gonna skip back to the fuel. I'm gonna go ahead and get this run completely, that line. Just put one fitting on it, and then we should be able to go ahead and modify the downpipe. Let's see if we can make it happen. All right, guys, so we are making some progress. This is just a slow go. We got those holes drilled out nice and easy. We just used that 2-inch hole saw and it cut right through it, cleaned it up. And those are kind of mounted, a little canted, but I think that's good. We also got our fuel line stuff completely done. This is probably actually needs a 45 off of this to make this exactly where I want it. So I'll go ahead and order me a 45. But I mean, we got plenty of clearance. I mean, plenty of room in between the header and that. I might go ahead and take, while we got this here, I'll probably wrap this fuel line filter just so we don't get any residual heat off of this. I mean, heat goes up, but you'll still get some heat going to that filter. So we'll probably do that or either build some type of heat shield or something. But ideally what I want is this to be more, probably about 4 or 5 inches away, kind of standing straight up. Kind of looks nice though, it's okay. So you can see this little clamp thing here. This thing is awesome. It just allows some movement so that it can actually still stay. We got this tight radius cast aluminum 90-degree bend here. It is a sharp bend right off of the turbo, but I think we're going to be fine. So we should be good there. And if we think we have a problem there, I mean, we can always extend this out and put an extension in that pipe up here. I think we're going to be good. Okay, so we're going to put this clamp on, tighten the turbo down. We're going to have to move this. Actually, I'll go ahead and probably drill and tap that now since that's not going to go through the hood. I had it over here on this side before. I'll probably just go ahead and do it over here. We'll take this off real fast, drill and tap it for an 1/8 inch MPT, get a plug for this one, and then we'll be good there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Then I'll tighten this up, put this clamp on, and the cold side will be 100% finished. Hot side, we're going to move on to next after I do the turbo. Basically, what I'm going to do here is, like I was saying, I think what I decided will be the easiest is going to be to cut this. I'm going to just cut it here on this old weld, and I'm going to cut it here on this weld. I'm going to weld those together. So I'm going to move those 2 inches, move it that way, give us a little bit more room, and then I'll straight cut this down here and then just take a piece of straight pipe out in front of the front tire. So that's what we're going to do here. All right, guys, well, we are getting close to done. Well, I am done for tonight. Brian just slid the front end on it. We are to the point. The cold side is 100% done. And we have made some progress there, so that's good. I've got to get a couple lines for the blow-off valves tomorrow. I run the bigger line, not the smaller line for those. And that's going to be the look, guys. That doesn't look terrible. I mean, like I said, we're going to be hoodless for a while. That probably will not fit under my other hood just because the motor is raised up so high. Probably what would have to happen if we put a hood on it later, I imagine this part right here would be sticking out, and probably this up here, of course. But we're definitely not going to do a hood initially. We may not do a hood at all, because with the front end, when it's made like this, it's always like my other car. When you took the hood off of it, there was none of this stuff up here. So, that just didn't work out. Brian's going to do a little bit of work to get some fresh air to the turbo up here. And I started working on the downpipe. And so we were working on this, and I actually had a little rust spot from where it was leaking, so it kept blowing out on me. But I got this thing bubblegum welded up. It welded like crap, because this is like I said, I think this is probably the third or fourth turbo kit this is being on. So we use and reuse. We like to recycle. So been working on this, but I was fixing to weld that on fully. I got it tacked on, but Brian was right. He was like, that's probably need to get the front end on it pretty close. Probably need to get the front end on it pretty close because we don't know where it's going. And I actually had it coming by the frame rail there, and then coming up, it was going to come out kind of high. I don't want it there. I want it to come out just like down here, right above, in front of the front tire, essentially. And I'm gonna just go straight out with it. Might put a little turn down on it. Might make it so that I can twist it so that when we need some downforce, we'll turn it up and back a little bit. When we're doing no prep stuff at the back of the track, point it down and see if we can get some thrust to try to get the front end up. So we're making progress. 13 days. It's not much time to get everything done, but we're working on it. All right, guys, comment, like, and subscribe. See you.